Hey there, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner, your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
We're a minimalist couple driven by intentional living and adventure.
Burned out from the 24/7 grind of running our business, we traded the hustle and the bustle for something more meaningful.
We parted ways with most of our belongings and moved to the coast.
Listen along as we chat about life's challenges, share inspiring stories of those who have taken big leaps to live a life outside of the norm,
and help you live with more intention and less physical and mental clutter.
Each episode is a step toward doing and being just a little bit better for ourselves and the world around us.
Life's an adventure after all. Join us for the ride.
It's the Arner Adventures podcast. Hi everybody, this is Jerry.
And this is Shannon.
And we are back for episode 167 of the Arner Adventures podcast.
We are. You just say it with such gusto and excitement.
You're darn right.
Yep, and if you can hear a dog barking in the background, it is our neighbor dog who apparently knows exactly when we're recording, and then she starts. But that's okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to complain about dogs barking because it's usually ours.
Yeah, and it shouldn't go on too long. I think she's about 22 years old, isn't she?
That's true. She is pretty old. Well, if you are tuning into this one for the first time, you saw, oh my gosh, journal prompts for a highly sensitive person, an HSP. But we've got some good news for you. This is the third episode of a series of 4 of journal prompts that we've talked about.
Count them 4.
Jerry is the journal expert around here. He's the resident journal expert. And he has put together journal prompts for different, maybe categories of your life, different things that you might be working on in the self-help arena.
And I might be the expert on HSP too.
Actually, that's true.
Not second under Dr. Elaine Ahrens, but there's probably some people that are right behind her.
Yeah.
But on an amateur level, I'm up there.
We're going to get into a little bit more about some HSP resources we have. Anything that we talk about today, you can find in the show notes, of course. That is linked in whatever platform you're listening to us on. Or you just head over to arneradventures.com, click podcast, and you'll find anything and everything that we talk about. And more.
And how?
Well, we came up with this journal prompt series because it's a question that we get a lot. And we've noticed that a lot of our content where we talk about journaling is high trafficked, a lot of attention behind it. And this week we are talking about the journal prompts for an HSP. And so Jerry is going to start us off. But before we get started into this, if you want to take a moment, get you a notebook, maybe you're journaling, and I don't know, whatever it is that you write down your journal in. You can kind of do that. You can pause, or if you're writing or driving, again, you can find these prompts in the show notes, but we do encourage you to take some time and really go through these because they really help people who might need a little bit more assistance with starting their journaling process.
That's right. So, all aboard, everybody. This train is bound for glory. If you're anything like us and have a deep love for the ocean, you are a thalassophile.
Well, we've got something special for you. It's the Thalassophile Soy Candle from our collaboration with Southern Oak Artisan.
This hand-poured candle is crafted with the highest quality ingredients like all of Southern Oak Artisan's products. 100% natural soy and clean oils, completely free of toxins. You can enjoy the ambiance it creates without sacrificing your health.
I love that you said ambiance correctly.
Yeah, thank you.
The scent, it's like bringing a day at the sea right into your home. Perfect for all you ocean lovers out there.
Or should we say, thalassophiles.
But it's more than just a candle. Once it's finished burning, this adorable jar can be repurposed.
Head over to arneradventures.com/shop to get your Thalassophile soy candle and check out our other mindful wares.
And the best part, a portion of every purchase goes to support mental health advocacy groups, which you can read all about on our Mindful Wares page.
So light up your life, support a great cause, and bring a bit of the ocean's magic into your home with the Thalassophile soy candle.
Again, that's at arneradventures.com/shop. And now let's get back to the show.
It's a gift, this highly sensitiveness that allows you to connect deeply with your emotions. I think with HSP people, they connect pretty heavy with all their emotions, or at some points it can be a little bit of an overwhelm.
And I think maybe you should say that you are an HSP. I've learned that I have HSP tendencies, for sure.
Yeah, and I classified myself an HSP when I discovered, I don't know, it was a book, or first I discovered it online, a book by this Dr. Elaine Aron, a psychologist that did research back in the 1990s and coined the phrase.
Yeah.
One of her biggest proteges, I don't know if it's protege. Well, yeah, it kind of is the singer Alanis Morissette. Yeah.
Okay.
She's a big proponent of the HSP movement. So
We should add that there was a study in Psychology Today that showed that journaling helps reduce stress for those who are highly sensitive people. It actually does for people who are not just HSPs as well.
yeah. Okay, well, once again, these are 5 great journal prompts for highly sensitive people. And like Shannon just said, it's just an excellent tool for processing sensitivity, processing just a little bit of everything, I think.
Right, I agree.
And once again, all aboard, everybody. This train is bound for glory.
Where are you getting that from?
It's I think it was a old folk music term from Woody Guthrie, and Bruce Springsteen borrowed it, I think, for a song.
Okay.
Too. He kind of took off on it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Hop on this train bound for glory.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 1, describe the relationship with the space around you using all 5 of your senses. That, of course, would be sight, hearing, touch, smell. What's the other one?
Taste.
Taste, yeah. As an HSP, your environment can have a big impact on your emotions. So, with this prompt, we will invite you to reflect on the sensory details of the spaces around you, the spaces you inhabit, whether it's in a moment or just typically through the day, and how these spaces make you feel. Feeling, once again, with all your senses. It can help identify with the elements in your surrounding. It can bring you peace, which might feel a little bit overwhelming, but I think through this process, maybe we can work on the overwhelm.
I think, too, we've talked about this before, that with journaling, a lot of us, I'm going to mention myself, can kind of get overwhelmed with what am I supposed to journal? That's why these prompts come into play, or where they come into play. But one of the things is when you are taking a moment to focus on the space around you and using those senses, we've talked before about how it is a grounding exercise to use your senses, but this is really great because it takes the pressure off of the thoughts you're having and what you think you're supposed to be journaling about. So you just really hone in on what the sensory experience is and how you can, then after you write all those things out, you can think more about how it's affecting your mood and energy at that very moment.
Well put.
Should I go to number 2?
You should. It's your turn.
Okay, so number 2, this prompt, does the word sensitive feel like a positive or negative trait to you? So being sensitive is often misunderstood. I before Jerry sort of enlightened me more about the world of HSP, I thought it was just about emotionally sensitivity, like just being emotionally sensitive.
Yeah.
And it's
like as in a don't be so sensitive kind of way.
Do I say it like that?
No, like
have I ever even said that?
You don't, but people
Okay.
in general might say something like that.
Okay, I was like, oh my God.
So that's why someone might have a negative idea of what sensitivity is.
Yeah, that's true. And being sensitive, like we said, is misunderstood. It can be a source of strength, compassion, creativity.
Yeah.
So this prompt really allows you to examine how you perceive sensitivity. So whether you see it as an asset or a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and let me elaborate as well. I think it's kind of a cultural thing to a culture like ours that's based a little bit more on like aggression and whatnot is you might well have a more negative aspect of what the trait is. Where I've read through readings with on that Dr. Aaron that like in certain European countries, especially Asian countries, sensitivity is looked at as a little bit more of a strength. Yeah, it is that way, especially in the male population. Here it would definitely easily take a negative connotation, whereas like let's say in Japan it has a bit of a positive positive ideal for like males and
Oh, that's
stuff.
really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it is. So
Huh.
reflect on this word sensitive, how it resonates with you. Does it feel empowering or burdensome? Why do you feel that way? Yeah, huh?
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, this is a good one, right? And it's my turn this time. Number 3, describe your happy place where you feel comfortable, at ease, inspired, and refreshed. Yes. So, as HSPs, you might feel a deep sense of comfort or renewal in specific or certain environments, more so than maybe the next person that might take something for granted like that. And as an HSP, you're pretty attracted to certain places that you know you're going to feel comfortable.
Or maybe I was gonna say disattract. What's the opposite of attractive? Turned off.
Unattracted? Or
Unattracted, turned off by
Turned off?
places too.
put off?
You
Yeah.
know?
Uh-huh.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, so this prompt can help you identify your safe spaces, whether they're physical or emotional or spiritual, and explore why they make you feel so grounded and restored.
Yeah, this writing about your happy place is probably going to be a really great journaling experience.
Uh-huh.
So you can really hone in again on what does it look like, what elements of that space help you feel relaxed, inspired, and at ease. I love this one.
That's
Right?
my at ease
Oh,
sound.
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So number 4, write down all positive qualities you can think of regarding your sensitivity. So sensitivity, it often brings traits like empathy, creativity, deep insight. So this prompt really encourages you to focus on the positives, recognizing how your sensitivity enhances your life and your relationships. I love this one.
I do too.
It's one of those things that we've talked about before where, I have OCD. And while many people in my life can maybe point out that that's an annoyance or, oh, this should be something I'm working on, I really am able to look at it and say, well, these are the reasons in my life I have been successful when I pull that in. So I see it as a strength. So this is the same type of thing.
We've known people too doing this that have used it as a strength, like your friend Scout, for instance.
Yes, her bipolar.
She used her bipolar to fit her, since she worked for herself, fit her work schedule. If she was feeling really bipolar-y, she'd say, hey, I can go for 16 hours and stay up all night.
Yeah, when if she had a manic episode, she
yeah.
used it to her advantage.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everybody's situation's like that, but she was able to realize I can't work for people. People are not going to be understanding about having bipolar. So she really knew, okay, I have to really lean into being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And where can I have my strength? So yeah, this is
she made lemonade out of lemons in that aspect. You
yeah.
know? So list your did we say it? To list your positive aspects. So what I wanted to elaborate on. Yeah. I think when you do this, it can, you might think, well, yeah, I did it one day. I can't think of any more the next day, but you will think of more, and you don't have to do it every day, but the more you do it, I think the more it will become a mindset where you can sort of switch the idea of your sensitivity trait into a positive as opposed to a negative.
Yeah.
If not, it might be gradual, but I think the more you do it, the more you can change your perspective.
Yeah.
Let's move on to number 5. I like this one. How does the weather of each season affect your sensitivity? Which season do you feel your best, most alive, and at home?
I can tell you the season that affects me in a negative way really easily.
Okay.
Is winter.
Yeah, unless there's snow, which I love.
Yeah.
Winter does affect me in a negative way too. I think it's everybody. I don't know if it's an even balance. It's hard for me to see. Some people might thrive on winter. It probably does depend on your.
I do think it just depends on the person.
Yeah, for me, I think I need the revival of like springtime or something like that.
Yeah.
I like the transitional seasons. I think I always have spring and fall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, as fall gets closer to winter, then I don't like the end of fall because I know what's coming.
That's true. That's true.
But I like the onset of fall because
Me too.
August, especially in the South, August and early September can be
kind of brutal.
Pretty brutal, yeah. So, here's where we're leading to. Seasons can deeply influence an HSP's emotions and energies, so this prompt will invite you to reflect on how the different seasons affect your sensitivity and which time of year feels most aligned with your inner self.
Yeah, so you can really go through and reflect on how each of the 4 seasons, like Jerry said, impacts your sensitivity or just how you feel about it. And which season makes you feel the most alive, which one helps you feel more at peace, or which one do you like to be outside and in tune with your surroundings more? And then why? Like, this is a really good prompt to dig into those feelings.
From some of our older listeners, they might think the 4 seasons we're talking about the singing group. We're actually talking about the 4 seasons of the year.
Look, if you're just journaling, go ahead and write about how the singing group, the 4 seasons, made you feel.
That's true.
That's a good prompt too.
It is. It's endless. You
really lean into that creative aspect of music.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, like we always say, use, as far as the tools, use anything that you're comfortable with. It could be an old steno pad, a little notepad, a digital platform, whatever it is. We just encourage you to designate that one tool for your journaling.
A chalkboard.
A chalkboard, if that's how you feel like you want to journal.
Yeah.
Dry erase board. You just want to journal, then erase it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, just designate it as your journaling space.
A pocket knife in a tree. That might be a slow process.
It would be
I would suggest something where you can get the words out a little quicker. Yeah, that could.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if you are looking for maybe a fancier, upgraded journal or something that can help guide you, we do have a link in the show notes for some journals that we have that has some prompts or it's just structured in a really great way.
And y'all, if you want to learn about more journaling prompts, there's one more in our series. This was number 3 of 4, and there's one more coming up. So stay with us. And these are also listed in the show notes.
Yep.
And we're excited to keep you inspired and motivated on your journaling journey. This has been a lot of fun for us, I think. Are you an HSP? We have an HSP quiz along with resources that might help you with your journey.
Yep, all linked in the show notes.
And in the words of the great Alanis Morissette, you think of anything?
Isn't it ironic?
Yeah, whatever.
Don't you think?
Don't you think? If this episode resonated with you, or if you know of someone who would benefit from what we talked about, please share it with a friend.
It's a great way of supporting the podcast, and we really appreciate it.
Another way of supporting the pod is by leaving us a 5-star review or rating on the platform you are listening to us on.
And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That also supports us. You can always find us, the show notes, and sponsors who support the podcast at arneradventures.com.
And until next time, enjoy the journey you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Bye-bye.